Alrighty, I hereby call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the Sunderland Selectboard. The time is 6:30 p.m. Our first order of business will be to approve the minutes of our last two meetings from October 2nd and October 15th.
I motion we approve the minutes from October 15th and...
Second.
Second.
All right, we have a motion made and seconded to approve our minutes from October 2nd and 15th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, 3-0. Alrighty. Our first order of business will be to vote on a one-day alcohol license and entertainment license for November 2nd and 3rd for Teddy Smrowski for his Potato Festival.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us today. I'm going to recuse myself for this because my kids work for him, so.
Okay. Then for Crystal and Dan, Teddy submitted his annual application for a one-day liquor license, one-day entertainment license, actually for 2 dates, November 2nd and 3rd. The proposed hours of alcohol sales or service are from 12 noon to 5 p.m., and the entertainment is from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. The estimated attendance is 200. He has provided the map of the area in which the event will be happening, and we have gotten reviews from all public safety. So everyone is in the know. We've received the fee, and we've received the liquor liability certificate, so we should be good to go.
All right, so are you doing the event 2 days, or is one the day of the event and the second a rain day?
No, both days, just like the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Over the years, we just figured it's easier to do it both days. We have everything else set up. And then we also have a country band the first Saturday, and then Sunday's the polka band. Just like last year. Big hit, excited to have it again. Everybody's pretty excited to be there. So,
Great.
rock and roll.
Great.
I got no other questions.
Motion to.
All right, so, do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve the liquor license for November 2nd and 3rd.
I second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2-0.
Okay,
Wonderful.
we're all set.
You sign, or you guys,
So they're signing everything tonight, and the license will be ready for you to pick up tomorrow.
okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Absolutely, look forward to it.
Hope you have great weather.
Yes, we hope so too.
Alrighty, our next order of business is to authorize the chair to execute the lease documents for the new highway loader. And my understanding is that, Dan, you need to read that into...
I have to read this, yes. Okay.
This comes with the resolution that must be read into the minutes, and we have to provide this to the lessor.
All right,
Awesome.
bear with me here. Be it resolved by the governing body of lessee as follows. 1, determination of need. The governing body of lessee has determined that a true and very real need exists for the acquisition of the equipment described on Exhibit A of Schedule Number 4, dated October 15th, 2024, to the Master Lease Purchase Agreement dated as of December 15th, 2016, between the Town of Sunderland and lessee and tax-exempt leasing corp. lessor. 2, approval and authority. The governing body of lessee has determined that the agreement and schedule substantially in the form presented to this meeting are in the best interest of the lessee and for the acquisition of such equipment, and the governing body hereby approves the entering into the agreement and schedule by the lessee, and hereby designates and authorizes the following persons to execute and deliver the agreement and schedule on lessee's behalf, with such changes thereto as such persons deem appropriate, and any related documents, including any escrow agreement necessary to the consummation of the transaction contemplated by the agreement and schedule. Authorized individual is Nathaniel Waring, Select Board Chair. In addition to the authorized individual above, the governing body of lessee further authorizes the following individual to sign any payment request and partial acceptance certificate and/or final acceptance certificate. Authorized individuals, Nathaniel Waring, Select Board Chair. And 3, adoption of resolution. The signatures below from the designated individuals from the governing body of the lessee evidence the adoption by the governing body of this resolution.
Thank you.
Wonderful. All right.
For the public's information, the old loader is a 2000, so it's 24 years old, and the trade-in is going to be $25,000 on the old loader. The new loader is a brand-new 2024 Caterpillar 930 wheel loader with equipment. The financing costs are $50,000 a year for 4 years, and then year 5 will have a lower cost by keeping the the front costs higher, we were able to reduce the interest rate by a little bit. So it is a 5-year lease with a year 5 payment less than the first 4.
Wonderful. Any discussion from the board? All right. At this time, I would entertain a motion to authorize the chair to execute the lease documents for the new highway loader.
I motion we nominate the chair to execute the lease for the loader.
Second.
All right, we have a motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, 3-0. Margaret, thank you. All right, next up is to approve the 4-year 26 budget memo contingent on Finance Committee approval on October 30th, 2024.
Oh, I hope you've all had a chance to read this. It really is the standard budget memo, and there's only a couple of little tweaks that the Finance Committee discussed at its last meeting. The first is that it does note that ARPA funds have been depleted, and they're no longer available, so we are going to be challenged with revenues in the coming year. And the second change is making the submission date for the budget request and the submission date for the capital request consistent. So both would be due on December 16th. This will give the Select Board and the Finance Committee time to look at the budget requests prior to your budget hearings in January.
Great. All right, and do you just need a motion to approve the budget memo and send it out?
Yes, the Finance Committee is also going to be meeting on October 30th. They're meeting this week, and they'd also like to vote the final version as well. So between the board and the Finance Committee, if you're okay with that, then the memo will go out upon their vote.
Wonderful. So I would entertain a motion to approve the budget memo.
Motion to approve the budget memo.
Second.
All right, a motion made and seconded to approve the budget memo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, 3-0. Margaret, thank you. All righty. Last but not least is some very good news and new business, which is executing the town administrator contract with our new town administrator, Rebecca Torres.
Yes, and I spoke with Becky today. Once the Select Board votes this tonight, it's going to be sent over to Becky for her signature. She has tentatively agreed to the terms. And Nathaniel, you're welcome to go over a couple of the basic items in the contract if you'd like, since she has tentatively agreed. And then if the public is interested in seeing the contract, it will be fully executed tomorrow.
Wonderful. The terms are very simple. She's picking up where Jeff left off, and so we are starting her at the same pay that he was at when he left. The term is 3 years, which is a standard contract term for that kind of thing. Most of the minutia is the same as before. The main difference, which I think is a very positive thing for leadership in the town, is that Becky has requested and, of course, agreed to have her pay increases be tied to the COLA that the town employees get. And so rather than it being stipulated in her contract, she's going to get what our non-union employees in town get every year, which I think is a great, motion on her part to, have parity with the other, members of the town. So I think that's a great move. Other than that, it's a very standard contract that looks a lot like Jeff's contract does. Any questions from the board? Any other comments or anything?
I'm good with
All right.
it.
So at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve and execute the town administrator contract with Rebecca Torres.
Motion to approve the contract for 3-year town administrator contract for Rebecca Torres.
Second.
All right, we have a motion made and seconded to approve the contract. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 3-0. Excellent. You're very excited about that.
Yes.
All right, so that's all of our new business. First piece of old business is select board updates. I don't have anything from my end. Crystal?
I don't have anything.
I'm quiet this week too.
Wonderful. Love to hear it. Town administrator updates.
Okay, the first thing I ask is that the board received something within 48 hours of this meeting. This is an annual vote the Select Board needs to take. This record of vote is submitted to DOR every year, and what it is an authorization for an increase in the levy for the purposes of capital stabilization. And I think you've voted this every year ever since the capital stabilization override was first established. So the mechanism is that you take the FY25 capital assessment, which was the amount voted at town meeting, $405,671, increase it by the 2.5%, and the amount that the select board is voting for an additional levy is $415,813. And that is an up to amount. The town certainly isn't bound to that, but that's going to come out in the capital planning process. So I would ask for a vote on the recommended motion.
Any discussion? All right. At this time, I've entertained a motion to approve a 2.5% increase to the FY26 capital assessment over the FY25 capital assessment.
A motion, we approve the up to 2.5%. It's up to, right?
So I would actually make the recommended motion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, please.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Move to assess an additional $415,813 in real estate, personal property taxes for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, for the purpose of funding the Capital Stabilization Fund to expend for municipal capital purposes included in Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Sections 7 and 8.
Second.
All right, we have a motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Wonderful.
3-0.
Thank you, and we'll report that to DOR.
Excellent.
As I mentioned just a little bit ago, this is under TA updates, the Finance Committee is meeting again this Wednesday. They asked me to ask the Select Board if the board would be amenable to conducting budget hearings or setting aside a meeting every other week solely for budget hearings with the Finance Committee and Committee on alternating Mondays, which means that you'd be conducting your regular business meeting on the other alternating Mondays.
So we've tried to get all of our budget stuff done.
So you try to get all your budget stuff done in one night instead of trying to do budget stuff, then routine stuff, and
With the understanding that if we have something that needs to be done in that week, we can at the beginning
put
of
it
the
on.
meeting
Sure, you could put it
tackle
on.
some on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm comfortable doing that. I think that makes sense. Of course, want to respect the finance committee's time and not have them sit around waiting for us to get through our normal business.
Okay.
I do remember in years past that had been a thing that happened sometimes where something would drag on and they're just sitting there like, we're gonna get to the budget stuff, or you know. So yeah, no,
Okay.
I am fully on board with that. Any discussion from the board on that, or?
No,
Okay.
I'm good with that.
It doesn't require a vote. I'll just report back to them and let them know that the board would be amenable to that.
Okay, great.
Wonderful. And then the other thing was, and I did mention this to the Finance Committee, and I'm happy to share this sheet with the Select Board. In scrubbing some budget lines for the current fiscal year, we do know that there are going to be some anticipated shortfalls. There are a number of different lines that may be impacted, but rather than go through every single line, I'm going to send the Select Board a list of the line items that I've noted might have shortfalls. A couple of others might have surpluses. So I'll send you what I've discovered so far, and I'm sure Becky will look further into it when she arrives. But I wanted to let you know well ahead of the end of the fiscal year because transfers will ultimately be
Are they significant shortfalls?
not significant, I would say. One of the largest is the one you know about, the DEP requirements on the PFAS. That's one of the bigger ones. There was in the current year, there is a mid-year MedX, the supplemental retiree health insurance, increase of over 20%. So I'll send you that, and that estimated shortfall would be $4,311.85. I believe that you're going to be able to do a transfer from town employees' health insurance line in order to cover that. And then there are a couple of others. Select Board Administrative Assistant, there's going to be an end-of-year shortfall because there was a payout to the prior administrative assistant on her retirement. And additionally, the position was advertised for 30 hours a week, but it appears it was only budgeted for 25 and a half hours a week. Only because the position was previously combined with the Board of Health clerk. I think that we'd be able to or Becky would be able to look into that and see how those funds could be transferred as well. Town administrator salary should have an end-of-year surplus of approximately $1,300 to $1,400, maybe even a little more. I've notified the Finance Committee about a possible need for a reserve fund transfer for the DEP compliance. And I think those are the main things.
Yeah.
Those are the main things. I'll give you the list, and you can look at it and
Yeah.
just have, as a heads up for,
And can you remind me, the reserve fund to transfer money, that's a finance committee approval?
that's Finance Committee, yes. And as a best practice, the administrator would probably take their vote, just mention it to the Select Board for your information.
Okay.
And then one last thing, with this large, the Frontier assessment was reduced because the additional Chapter 70 was received. So the assessment's been lowered by $8,509. So that's a line that you might be able to
Nice.
find some funds in.
Wonderful.
Okay, that's all I have.
Excellent. All right, I don't see anyone online
Technology,
or.
do we
I'm
want to
sorry,
talk about
yes.
technology?
Yes,
No, it
I
just- I think we need to.
I would. I think that it would be advisable for the town's boards and committees that meet in this room to learn the technology in this room, because staff can't always be available. And it does, there is obviously a cost to having staff come in and operate technology. So I'm happy to help anybody that comes in the next week or two, and then I'll be sure Becky understands how to work the technology, so she could also train. We have some pretty good instructions here. And the more designees, the more committee designees there are to operate technology, the more the task can be doled out to more than one person.
So can we just send an email to all the committee chairs?
Yeah, yeah.
And just saying that, moving forward, please designate or, a person or a couple people to spend some, to learn this technology, because we can't always guarantee that there's gonna be somebody here to
Yeah.
run it for you.
Yes, I will, and I'll note that there are instructions, and we can
Yeah.
answer questions. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know some of the committees don't use it. I don't believe personnel uses it. But, the committees that want to use it, it's not a problem. It's just,
Yeah, learning it, yeah. Okay, absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. All right, we don't have any correspondence. I don't see anyone here or online for public comment. No executive session. So our next meeting will be Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. At this time, I would.
No. I
Sorry?
just want to say thanks to Margaret
Oh, thank you.
for the transition.
Yeah, Becky officially starts on the 12th. She'll be with you that night.
Oh my gosh, is this your last meeting with us?
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah, I can poke my head in if needed, but Becky will be in this chair.
wow.
Yeah, see?
No, thank you
It was
very
quick.
much.
It was a
Oh.
smooth transition.
It's been, no, you saved our proverbial bacon in many ways, because, we would not have made the last couple of months through without having your guidance, so thank you very much.
Well, thanks. It was absolutely a pleasure coming back and helping out for a little bit.
Absolutely. All right, at this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
All right, we have a motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
I.
Aye.
Aye. 3-0, 6:48 PM.